Yeah, it's fun. And Josh McCown's in there too, so to kind of have him explain the offense and then have me relay it back to them, I think it's a great way for them to kind of figure out my knowledge and then also learn whatever I can from them as well. Everyone has different ways of teaching certain things, whether it's protections, concepts, formations. I mean, I just love ball, so it's cool to hear kind of different ways to do things. Yeah, it was great. Really good form with them. Thought I did really well. Put my best foot forward, and I think I made a good impression. Yeah, I think that our terminology crosses over with a lot of different teams in the league. So when they're asking about the plays that we run and we're watching tape and I'm running through kind of what our footwork or what our just language that we used was, it's kind of cool when they can realize kind of right away that it's the same or very similar to what they do. Yeah, I mean, my goal is to win more than anybody. I want to be the greatest of all time. I feel like you're crazy if you don't think that way. No, I mean, I think like this past year, like season didn't go as well as we would have wanted it to. But I mean, I learned a lot from it. Learned how to kind of battle through adversity and just dealt with a lot of things physically and just situationally that was tough. But I think I just became a better kind of player, better quarterback because of it. But no, I mean, I'm going to show what I'm about once I get to that next level and do my best to show that to these coaches throughout this week as well. They're great. I mean, people always try to tell me to put one above the other. I mean, it's tough, but it's been such a privilege to play in such two great conferences. And when I did make the transition from Penn State, I wanted to make sure that I was, going against high-level competition like I was in the Big Ten. So playing in the SEC was really important to me. And I mean, shoot, I've seen a lot of great players across a lot of great teams. I mean, going back to Big Ten, my first real kind of game experience was against Ohio State, and Chase Young gave me a tough time. So, I mean, that goes back a little bit. But, I mean, just great players across the board, and hard to put one on the other. Yeah, no, Joe's someone, especially in this offseason, that I focused a lot on. I think this offseason, compared to offseasons in the past, I've really been trying to kind of perfect the movement leading up to the throw. I think that when I make some inaccurate passes, it's due to kind of how I'm initiating the movement leading into it. A lot of the times I can get away with it because of how talented of an arm I have. But Joe, I think, does better than anyone else in terms of movement in the pocket. Not the fastest guy, but he's just able to move so efficiently to put himself in a stable base to make efficient throws. And I've been watching a lot of film on him this past offseason. Just what I just said. I mean, not necessarily anything with the upper body, everything from the waist down. How I'm initiating movement, where I'm using force, and which muscles I'm using. I mean, I'm a pretty built guy, but I kind of realized just as I started my off-season training how kind of weak I was in my abductor and low core area. So to be able to engage those and push through those areas and using my feet in ways that are going to put me in advantageous situations to get a good platform and get the ball off efficiently without even really having to worry about much in the upper half has been really interesting. Just my recovery. I mean, coming off of a couple tough injuries this past season, really spent the first handful of weeks just doing treatment, like the foot, the shoulder, just finally in a spot as of like 3-4 weeks ago that I'm just really feeling really, really good about my body, confident that I can go and use my athleticism to my advantage, kind of like I wasn't able to for that second half of the season this past year. I think physically, I just say my arm talent. I think I got one of the stronger arms that's come out of any draft class in recent memory. And then just who I am as a person, kind of my morals, what I stand for, my values. And I think that's been the most kind of beneficial thing for me to be able to share with these coaches throughout these formal and informal interviews, to just get them to know me as a person, get them to kind of understand how seriously I take every aspect of my life, and just letting them know how much I love ball and how I'm able to use those values and those morals to make me the best person in the locker room and on the field as possible. because I got a camera and I'll show it off. I mean, nobody like teaches specifically. Everyone's different. I mean, people make the Josh comparison, which I mean I can see it. But we're definitely two different types of guys. But the way he uses his body, his physicality, while being smart doing it. Been able to ask him about that a little bit, and but yeah, I mean, got to be smart with the body, but at the same time, if you have the ability to use it in situations where you need to, it's a good way to kind of go out there and show your thing. So I mean, Joe, like I said before, I'm trying to emulate a lot of what he does, but I mean, nobody else really that I'm really leaning on heavily to learn from. Sorry? Yeah, it's great. It's great for the guys. I mean, I know that Coach Stoops is really happy about it, and I know he's going to make the best decision for the program. But I mean, Coach loves it there, and I know he's excited to be back. And I know that Devin and all the other guys are going to be able to learn a lot from them, and we're going to take a big step going forward from this past year. Yeah, it went well. It's formal. Yeah. Hey, Chris, Penn State dude, and he's been able to do such great things in the league. It's been great to see him progress. But hey, I mean, I'll play for anybody. I'm gonna make whatever situation work. It was, I mean, great dudes. I mean, didn't really kind of dig into me too much. But I mean, felt like I answered all their questions very well and very honestly. Just kind of genuinely showed them the type of person I was, type of player, type of mind I have. And I think that interview went really, really well. Repeat that, please. No, I mean, I think right now I can bring a championship team. You know, that's the confidence I have. I think I'm able to assimilate myself very, very well, better than anybody else, I believe. And that's the confidence I have, just due to my experience and just due to my physical tools. I think that I'm going to be able to be plugged into any offense, learn it well, and become a leader very quickly in whatever team I play for. But obviously, the goal is to progress. I want to get better every year. I'm not expecting myself to be the best quarterback in the league right off the bat. But I mean, that's just what development's all about. And that's what I'm going to lean on the coaches and the staff and the players around me to help me get to that level. Hey, I learned a lot. I learned that sometimes things don't go your way, and you just got to put your head down and keep working. You know? One of the things that I stand for, kind of my mantra that I always live my life by, is never give up. And that whole time I was there, I never gave up. I walked in that building every day, prepared as if I was the starter. Tried to show kind of coach and my teammates that I had the capabilities to do that. And when I made that decision to transfer, I felt like I was kind of going against that mantra. But at the same time, I realized I wasn't giving up. You know, I'm just going to stick to what I believe is best for me. And I was going to go take my shot and play my part somewhere else. So, I mean, learned a lot. Nothing but love for all the coaches and all the players that I had at Penn State. And wouldn't trade that time for anything. No, I mean, in yardage is everything. I mean, talk about it every week in our meetings, especially special teams. I mean, that's the first thing I think of when I think of in yardage. But just as an offense, I mean, you look at every 2-3 yard play and what could make it a 5, 6, 7 yard play. It's all the little details of football, and I think that's what makes the game so beautiful. I mean, you work so hard, you work for hours and hours for maybe a play that you don't even run, you know. And then when you do, it's for 3 seconds of excitement, and then you're on to the next one. So, the more precise those little details are, the more you can get those extra yards. I think it's just my job as a quarterback to make sure that everyone's on their stuff and that every little detail is perfected so that we're able to maximize those yards. Good. I mean, I was just honest with kind of how I felt about the school. Which is, I mean, my love for it, my love for the coaching staff, my love for the players, and my belief in him as knowing the type of player that he was to be able to kind of put him into that system and succeed. So, I mean, obviously, I think the situation I'm in right now, potential draft pick, was exciting for him to see that by playing an offense like that and having success there, that could be a possibility for him. But I mean, I was just honest. I just texted him yesterday, just kind of checking in. They got spring ball starting up on Monday, so I'm really excited to see how spring starts off for them. And I know that all the guys in that offense from this past year, especially the young ones, are going to be able to develop and make an even bigger mark this year. Yeah, I think my leadership style would definitely be that, which is just lead by example. I mean, I kind of liken it to how I first got to Kentucky. I didn't step in. I wasn't the starter right away. I didn't step in and start kind of being that rah-rah guy and just starting to boss people around. What you do is you put your head down and you earn the respect of others through your work. And that's what I'm going to plan on doing. And it's kind of just a feel process where once you know that you have to gain the trust of the coaches, the players, or once you're named the starter or whatever, that's when you can start transitioning into more of a vocal leadership role. Being able to understand and step in and talk to guys individually when you feel like it's necessary. And that kind of process is just gradual, but you just got to feel it out. So my ability to feel out that situation, understanding that dudes need to be led in different ways, and I think just my character, my respect, my ability to just talk to anybody with the highest level of respect and be able to put myself in their shoes and understand and learn from them. I think that's what's great about being a leader. It's like you're bettering yourself through bettering others because you're bringing them along and learning more about yourself at the same time. So those things along with a bunch more. I mean, I don't focus on things I can't control. I want to be selected as high as possible. But at the end of the day, I just want a team that believes in me, and got to make somebody fall in love with you, with me, and that's all it takes. You know? I haven't talked to the Colts. Yeah, I mean, last year, I was definitely a bigger part of the run game. Like 400 rushing yards, a bunch of rushing touchdowns, and that's because I was involved. We were running Q power, we were running Q draw. I was taking off and scrambling a little more. That really, even before I got hurt, that really wasn't as big a part of the game plan this year. But obviously, when I did get hurt, those got limited. So nothing from a drop back or like a play action standpoint changed really. It was just my ability for them to call design runs for me, but which again was limited even before I got hurt. I think that's just kind of one of the differences in the style, in the system. It's just less emphasis on quarterback run. No, I think the only thing I can think of, Minnesota had football, so they just had you kind of have the football in your hands, which is nice because I like having kind of something to play around with. But I don't know if it's because they wanted to see how big my hands were or something. But no basketball hoops, but I would have enjoyed that. No, not really. I was surprised. I was completely ready to answer that question, but. No, at the end of the day, it's just me having fun. It's not something I do. I hope people understand that by now. But yeah, it was just a thing. Me and my girl at breakfast, we got our black coffees, no cream, no sugar on the table, just a bottle of mayo. She's makes the joke that, I think you're supposed to put it in there. And I was like, you don't gotta tell me twice. So, I just tried it out and just tried to have a little fun. But yeah, just a little silly little thing. And, nobody asked about it except for the media, so I'm not afraid to talk about it. Sorry? Pineapple for sure, number one. Clementines, number two. That's a sleeper. And then basic, but I gotta go apple. Go-to hype song. I don't really have any set kind of songs I listen to. I more so listen to mashups, or finding an hour-long kind of mixtape. So I gotta make a playlist myself. But yeah, not a specific song.
This is BBN Tonight. From your official UK station for Big Blue Nation.